Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a GM bat player. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that definitely helps me out. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, and through there you can see what my rates look like, connect with members of the community, all sorts of cool stuff.
Let's test these.
Good job, team. Let's keep it going.
Okay, in this comp, let's see, you have a Sigma who you're going to be able to deliver some healing to. You're going to be able to do some poke into them, a little bit anyways. Not great, your comp's kind of a mess, but that's okay.
All better.
Just going up here for the Hanzo, fine. Why did you reload here? Challenging the Widow is not scoped for just an instance. You take that shot, you know that there's a Sigma there, you've got teammates there, fine. You hop up here for the heal, you see the Tracer to your right. Why is this a reload? You saw there was a Tracer to your right, you know that your Sigma was roughly there. You'd like to be healing your Sigma right now, and you have 6 shots left to do it with. This isn't a good reload. Tracer, you're trying to keep him honest. That Hanzo was full, but whatever.
Get in here.
Excuse me? Why are we lamping? Did I miss something? Do you think the Tracer's going to come right back and this is a full dive? 1 second. My apologies. Do you think this is a full dive, so you're lamping thinking the Tracer is going to come back? Like, this is really not worth spending on. It's just a ball that rolled into him. You were already looking at him, are going to be able to hit normal right clicks. You have 9 shots left in your clip. Your Hanzo's fine. No need to spend your biggest cooldown there. I'd prefer you take high ground. I'm okay with you being here because your Briggs is here, but I'd prefer that you use your boots to take high ground. Yeah, just top left here, set up a nice little crossfire with your Hanzo, make this the, make this the box of winning, etc. that you're shooting into. Okay. Go for your shift there, that's fine. Yeah, that's part of why I didn't want you there. I wanted you on high ground, but it's not a big deal. You had your Briggs with you, you had reasonable stuff.
I'm out of here. That should be better.
So shift, let's take a look at that shift. Trying to help force your DPS through, you take some damage, this is a shift, and you change... Oh no, it's still on cooldown, okay. It's a shift for 3 people, but not really, because the Sombra didn't need it, okay. Okay. Again, I don't really want you here anymore. You've taken out enough of them that I'd prefer you up here with your Hanzo. I'd prefer you back here where you can still do angles, you can drop, you can do that type of stuff. I don't like you just sitting on this cart so hard. I'm less upset by it, again, because you have this Briggs, but I don't particularly like it. I'd have probably liked you to close this angle to check if the ball was still here, as opposed to just shoot at this before you're sure where the ball is, but okay. Because you clearly still had some concern about the ball. Yep, that's fine. Shift is fine too. Good.
Thought you good at
You're going for the shift,
Regen
fine.
burst
Don't
activated.
just ignore what made you move, though. Like, please turn and look. Yes. Did you even ask for help? You have... Your Briggs is down, okay.
What? Thought you good at
Okay, so pressing X isn't going to get you Briggs help here. Okay.
Regen burst activated.
Trying to dance with the BAP shield, or the Sigma shield that gets called. And you don't have cooldowns. Okay, fine. Devil's choice there in terms of what to make. Okay.
Someone's looking out for me.
I'm moving the payload.
How are we going to use this window? We didn't peek that to make sure there wasn't a tracer in there or something? Okay.
You're fully healed.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
The champion returns. My EMP is almost charged. Payload is on its way.
There's some downtime there. You could have pushed up to see if there was like a shot or two to take before the cart is actually able to move, but that's fine. It was minor and there probably wasn't.
Good job, team. Let's keep it going.
Okay.
Regen up.
I really don't like that shift though. That lamp I can live with. I don't like the shift. He's dropping clearly to go get a health pack. You're not missing any health. You don't need that shift. Or excuse me, you don't. Yeah, the lamp I can live with. You don't need the shift on top of it.
Observe the back.
You haven't earned this space. Please back out.
All better. For now.
Yeah, this was always going to happen. So if we look at this, you know 2 of your teammates are over here.
Get in here.
You lamp to save one of them. You heal him.
Let's keep
I
it
don't
going.
like the shift, but think about this. Like if there's enemies over here, do you have any idea what's going on over here? Like for the moment, you've got 2 teammates here, but they've got high ground. You've crossed into their angle space, etc. I don't like this. It's a fair amount of time of you not being aware of what's going on. So do that.
Regen up.
Okay, fine. This happened. I don't like the shift, but this happened. He's clearly going to go get the mega. Please turn it. Like, I know there's a ball right there, but it's time to do a check on what you're going into. Okay, good. You do that check. And you decide to drop behind the cart, and that's your fix. Yeah, okay.
Observe the back. All better. For now.
I'm surprised we didn't get a reload there. That was a fair amount of time behind cover to not reload. Whereas this is actually wasting your time. Good. Reasonable shift.
Let them up.
Yeah, okay.
EMP activated.
I mean, if this was planned, we're overusing ults. Like if we look at this, Rally's already going. Yeah, Rally's already going. You're up 1. No, you don't need this window. They're, they have an electric McCree over there, but you're still probably fine on this with just the Rally. The Rally's probably enough.
Let them up.
I can live with the window, but the Rally probably was enough.
EMP activated.
I can't control what your Sombra does.
Get in here.
Yeah, reaction lamp, fine. You weren't actually in danger because of, well, how it works. I mean, A, your Briggs was right next to you, but B, you still have rally armor. So you have 300. And this is just you remembering that you have 300, so he can't actually do what would be normal stuff to you. And your Briggs is looking right at you. So you don't need lamp here, but I understand why you used it.
No. Get in here. Enemies in our orbit. Get inside.
I'd be pretty cool with you just hopping up and playing from here for a bit. Like I'd be pretty cool with that personally. They can't really challenge you up there right now, but hey.
Fully healed.
See that which is unseen.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
I don't like you that you were standing quite in the middle of the cart there, but whatever. You didn't know when that door came down where exactly they'd be, if they were holding sight lines on you, etc. And there's things like Hanzo's and McCree's on the other team that could have hurt. You were pretty far from cover.
Good job, team. Let's keep it going.
It's fine, you're hitting those angles. Again, I don't really like that shift. Like, your team is leaving the fight. He's clearly going to go get the Mega. I think you're perfectly fine hitting him with, what do you call it? Right clicks as he goes and gets the health back. It's not like he was going to immediately go back in. You guys have lost the fight.
We need that payload.
Prioritize healing the Sigma, yep.
Let them up.
Yeah, and you're using this rally, but they're mirroring rally. Yeah, okay. Good. That was just an on cooldown shift, but you're missing enough health that, yeah, it's fine. Totally fine. You might need to lamp instead of shift here. You might be donezo, in fact, but yeah. So if we look at this,
Let them up.
you go for this, you hit your window, you take some meaningful damage here, you decide to hide behind the cart until your shift comes back. No, you decide to reload. It's not perfect. You could consider lamping here because you have a window going and it enables people to, you know, if you lamp here, it enables people to more aggressively continue, including you, to use your window. So a lamp to support the window. Yeah, I'd be good with that. Instead, you're doing this. You don't have an armor pack from your Briggs yet. You still don't have an armor pack from your Briggs. And you press your shift. Yeah, I don't like it. I'd have liked you either to ask for an armor pack from your Briggs, which maybe you did. Maybe I missed it. Goes your rally.
Let them up.
So this is fine. You get the Hanzo here, we know. I don't hear an ask for healing. I still don't hear an ask for healing. I still don't hear an ask for healing. I still don't hear an ask for healing. So yeah, if you aren't going to ask your Brig for an armor pack, which is what I would like you to do, because asking your Brig for an armor pack lets you it continues to enable your ult. It lets you continue to use your window. Right now your window is just ticking down while you're effectively waiting for your shift to come back so you can heal yourself. You have a Briggs, you know, her job is to help protect you, etc., etc. That's what she's going to do. So just, I know rally's ticking. I know you think you're going to get your cooldown back, but just ask for the armor pack here so that your ult isn't getting wasted, so that you can come do more with your ult, get more value, etc. And if you're not willing to do that, I'd put the lamp here and just say, hey, I want to continue using my ult, etc., etc. But, you know, those are better than what you did. Okay.
Get in here. Regen up.
Okay. Okay. Ball's already critical when this comes out, so you're just kind of throwing this to protect the ball. Yeah, okay, I can live.
I'm stable.
Okay, 5v5.
What is that melody? You cannot.
I do want to see that shift again.
What?
You take a little bit of damage, has your team.
You cannot.
Yeah, it's probably not worth. Your team isn't really missing health. And just let's check on how your Briggs is doing on armor packs. 3 armor packs, totally fine. Would have been perfectly happy to heal you.
Better?
I'd rather she use 1 charge of armor pack than you use your whole cooldown, especially when your team didn't really need it. Like, she was missing a tiny bit of health that would have probably come back from Inspire, or you can more cheaply heal her with a right click and your Hanzo was fine.
All better. Now, barrier's about to break.
EMP activated.
It's time.
Its destination.
That lamp. I'll live. That lamp was fine.
60 seconds.
Good.
I'm at fight position.
Okay. Yeah, that shift is fine. This is mostly a positioning issue. Like, I still don't really want you in the middle of this brawl. I'd like you to use those exhibits a bit more. I want you want to, with BAT, be in positions where it's like, hey, I can fire my right click, and I can, small little adjustment to fire my left click, fire my right click, small little adjustment to fire my right click. And if you're in the middle of your team, that's not always going to be as possible. It's a little easier when your team is brawling on top of the team, and you have, say, an angle on high ground, etc. You being on the low ground, again, less bad when you have your Briggs, but I would still like you to use it, especially when their McCree is tied down, etc., and can't really punish you.
Let them up.
Kind of out in the open here, but they're low on people. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Let's take one last look at that. We do this. We lamp on cooldown, or we window on cooldown. Yeah, we just window immediately. It's a kind of selfish window. It could be more far forward because at this point we are stopping people from coming back from spawn, but yeah, even a little further forward would have been good. Like very back of the payload, halfway up the payload type thing. Because that way your team can use. You see how Sombra is having to struggle to use this window. She's having to pick between do I actually get into my effective range or do I use this window to fight this Hanzo?
How about a little extra heal?
If your window had been like here or even here, which would have been halfway up the payload, that's fine. And your team that was chasing off the tanks could have still used the window just fine to fight them. So little further forward on that window. Okay. So far, biggest thing has probably been the shift usage. You've been using shift in places where, hey, it's just helping you or it's just helping one other person. It's not serious. And it's partially coming from a reluctance to ask your Briggs for an armor pack.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
Or maybe you're asking on comms and not getting it, but she has armor packs and she's happy to use them on you, or should be, and you have an X button, so be willing to use
Statistically
it.
speaking, I usually get most of my team back alive, but who's counting?
Has your comp really changed? No. You're still running Sigma Ball with the Hanzo Sombra Briggs. Okay.
Activating the barrier.
Well, that's unfortunate. fine.
You all look like you needed some healing.
Reasonable. I'm not worried about that. You were trying to use your Sigma as the body, etc., and you guys were getting pushed back. That's fine.
It's not over yet.
Sniper!
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Okay.
Regen up. Barrier is about to break. Barrier is out of existence.
Yeah, I don't really like you drifting into the open here. So if we look at this, I can live with you dropping. You're too worried that the Widow is just not going to let you have angles on your team if you do that, if you don't drop. But in that case, you need to be playing more to the right here where the Widow can't
Regen
shut
up.
you down. What? You're at full health. You have 6 shots still of right clicks to put in him. You don't need to do this. You shouldn't be shifting for one person unless it's you.
Regen up. Barrier is about to break. Barrier is out of existence.
Yeah, you've drifted too far to the left here rather than effectively backing up to here, closing this angle, etc. Like, you can play from here. You have an angle to play with. You know, even if you were here and it was like, oh shoot, the Widow came out there rather than there. Like, you want to be in a place where you have an angle. You're kind of just standing in the open here, and you're actually drifting more into the open. Yeah, that team fight was a lot of that had to do with you going down. Your team had, you know, didn't have good space control regardless, but you definitely undid that a bit. So that's fine. We're just going to use cover a bit better.
Not you good as new.
Please don't keep pushing forward. Let your team get ahead of you.
Get in here. Stop shit, you.
Okay.
Melody. Let them up.
Window's a little shallower than I'd like, but I'll live. You need to survive long enough to get lamp back. Too late.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Yeah.
Someone's looking out for me.
I didn't love that lamp onto the Sigma, and you having it sure would have been nice for letting your team charge point, but
Ready.
Fully healed. Take your medicine.
are we going to play not in the middle? Good. We're going to play, you know, on the corners a bit more now. I like it. It's unfortunate. I don't know if that was communicated at all, but you lamped and rallied at the same time, and you definitely only wanted one of those. You actually lamped and rallied and EMP'd at the same time, and you definitely didn't need the lamp and the rally. Oh well. Okay, fine by me.
Regen up.
It's a better shift. He's done. I'd even argue you followed him too far. A little slow, but you got on the lamp. Okay. Yeah.
Stop shit, you.
I mean, ideally we'd have... Yeah, whatever. We can live.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
You all look like you needed some healing.
Okay, drift to the right again. Thank you. I would like you to do a high ground check. I would like you to do a high ground check. Now I would like you to play from high ground.
Looking good.
You're at 185. You're at 185. Your McCree is fine. You just healed him up. Even if you needed to heal him up, you could throw another right click at him. No. You don't need this. A tiny little bit of damage is not a reason for you to shift. You'll just wait for your, what is it, a Zen now? To get you later. Like, no.
Looking good.
Here's the high ground.
Double.
Right clicks. They were fine. I promised they were fine and you didn't need to lamp.
Regen up.
You just didn't charge enough, fine.
Got you good as gold.
Okay. I don't love this positioning.
Understood.
If you want to jump top right or play bottom right, I can live with those.
Let them up.
Again, there's very little reason for this lamp to not be a little further forward. Or not this lamp, this window to not be a little further forward, like here-ish. Like, this isn't... No. No. Now your Zarya's like, well, I have to pick. I can throw right clicks from here, but I might like to throw right clicks from here type stuff. Like, this is... You're just making it harder than you have to. There's no one that's going to get past this window and then it's not going to be effective against them. And there's no one that's going to get past this window and make it not effective past them. Heck, there's no one that we can get past this window and make it not effective against them. You can window a little further ahead. You're making your Zarya struggle with these right clicks. See, she gave up. That shift was better. Obviously, I don't have an issue with that lamp. They're fine. I do like that you checked the flank. Okay. He's fine. You just healed him because he was there. Yeah.
The payload is
Okay, that's fine. I don't mind throwing a heal at him. Oh, and we missed those. Interesting. Do you go down with a second from lamp? Yeah, so that's just not valuing your life enough. So if we look here, you're here. Totally don't mind peeking this to try to get the heal on him. He doesn't need it as bad as he's pretending he does, but I don't mind. Okay, and now you need to get cover. Like, you fired your 2 shots, you actually did get him to full, he just takes more damage. Please keep cover. You are 3 seconds out from lamp. You need to recognize that you are 3 seconds out from lamp. You are 3 and 4 seconds out from your cooldowns. You will have a lot more power in this engagement, and they have a window going. So, like, in 3 seconds, you can drop your lamp here, and Zarya and you can try to fight them through their window. Right now, you're trying to poke at them through their window. That's not something that we want to do. So just take cover, please. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah. Just too slow. Just not realizing that your cooldowns were, you know, seconds away.
Get in here.
round 2. Ready for battle.
No dying on mine.
Ready for battle.
Okay, so We can talk about window distance. We can talk about some of your reloads. We can definitely talk about positioning, but the biggest thing so far really is your cooldown usage. You use your shift too easily. You use your shift for one person too frequently. You use it on yourself when you're missing 15 health. Rather than just asking Briggs for an armor pack, or rather than just continuing to chain right clicks into someone, which is totally fine. So you're gonna need to look into working on those, etc. And then you are a little too willing to throw out the lamp for one person that might be in a little trouble, but is not in serious lethal trouble yet. Again, believe in your right clicks. That's fine. I'm not saying you can't use lamp to save someone. You definitely can, but we had the Hanzo deploy, we had the Sigma deploy, both of which I think were a bit of a reach. The Hanzo especially was crazy. The Sigma one was a little, I'm not convinced you needed that, etc. type space. And then you did need it later for your team to have any chance of taking the card, etc. And then similar stuff there where it's like, hey, we want to have a little more awareness when our cooldowns are coming back, because sometimes it is more important to value our life for a couple more seconds so that we can get that lamp out, etc. For positioning stuff, you wander into the open a little too deep, a little too often. Play a little more near the corners more consistently, and it's also fine to take high ground when you're aware that the threats that would check the high ground aren't there, have been taken down, have closed their ankles, etc. Turn to Sigma. Why are you still healing Ball? Ball is in a safe spot. Sigma was in a more dangerous spot.
Regen up.
That shift! Grr! Not good. Okay.
30 seconds.
Okay.
Shoot to heal.
There's more people here for this shift. You're missing some health. The Sigma's missing some health. Better.
Barrier won't hold together.
Please don't.
Get in here.
Yeah, okay. This is... So, here we go.
Shoot to heal.
Fine. I don't really love this because we know well enough where our opponents are that this is putting us in a fair bit of danger being right here. Let's look at this. They're taking stairs. They're here, etc. Like this isn't great. You continuing to be back here could be better. You could rotate up with your team and try to keep your team between you and them. You could rotate up and then try to go, hey, we're using this. You could even try to get behind here. I don't like you here, so please make this a fast transition. And you're going to rotate back here for the lamp. But the problem is this lamp is just for... Well, your Hanzo's here now. Okay. Okay, I'll live with this lamp. Sure, this is fine.
10 seconds remaining.
That's fine.
The payload has reached
Good.
the checkpoint.
Hey,
Merci. You do merci. My turn.
Good. Okay.
All better.
Yeah, I didn't really like you reaching for that heal. I thought you were out here because you were going to take shots through your Sigma shield.
What is that melody?
Okay.
Let them
Cool. Also reasonable. Let them do work. Let them do work. Yeah, I didn't want you peeking. I mean, you only little peeked, but Mega's probably too far back for you to go during that. Okay.
Let me show you how.
Okay. That's fine.
If everyone performs their function, victory is assured.
Ready for battle.
Okay, so now we're running with a Sim McCree and an Orisa to go with our Sigma. Okay. It's an easier comp for you to heal.
5, 4,
Activating the barrier.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Behind the barrier. Stop the payload.
Bad guy. Regen just
Fine.
unstable.
It's fine. You're gonna have to rotate. One more right click at her. Keep rotating. You have to get your Fine. Like that's not a great shift. If we're being honest, it's just better than some of your other shifts. Like I'm being more forgiving because even though he's the only one who like desperately needs it, all of them are at least going to get some benefit. Now you could probably get most of this healed up before these enemies actually round the corner and fight you with normal healing, but I'm going to be more forgiving of this one. Because those three were mostly clumped for you, so it would have been pretty quick to heal them up with right clicks, but it's fine.
Unstable. My barrier.
Okay. You're going to do this.
How about a little extra?
Okay. I'm a little surprised that we didn't take this sort of a little more aggressively before they'd rounded the corner with our lamp, but no, this is fine. I'm just expecting we're going to lamp right after this, right? Right? We're going to toss a lamp right here and try and fight with it.
Let them up.
No, we're going to window. Okay. Do you have any idea what's going on behind you? Do you really have enough control here to justify this? For a moment.
Now, hold on.
Good. Okay, and we should be looking to... Are we going to rally? Is that what's happening? No. So we should be looking to lamp this. Yeah. They backed out, now it's fine, and we walled, so good. Okay. Yeah, your Sigma's, or your BAP is down. BAP, your Briggs is down. Words are hard. Okay. Shift immediately. Shift immediately.
Let them up.
I don't love this. This is too personal. Like a tiny bit of a slide to the right makes this a better window because you put it at an angle and it helps your Orisa too, and your Sigma's only going to have to just slightly to still use it, whereas your Orisa, well, your Orisa's gone. Okay, fine. I'm thinking that, you know, that collapsing robot is still a thing. Silly me. So what's your timing? Okay, she wasn't gone when you put the window. She was full health when you put the window. Yeah, I'd have preferred that angled ever so slightly. Okay. But that could have potentially exposed you to the high noon, so I accept it. I understand. Fine. Yeah. Really, though, was there any point? We look at this. We haven't put our window down yet. We're down 2. We have our supercharger going. They're high nooning. It's probably, they're high nooning and they're tack visoring. This probably wasn't worth investing in the first place. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. Like, we do have time for another fight after this. This wasn't worth investing the window.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Well, it could be worse.
30 seconds remaining.
Hold position. We've got this. Enemies in our orbit. Observe the barrier.
10 seconds.
Okay.
All better. Get in here.
Lamp just right in the middle of it, but your team was drifting left. Okay. Yeah, those baby rounds don't really change my previous takes on this. Let's just get to a better end screen here.
Observe the barrier.
10 seconds
Okay,
remaining.
so your biggest thing is still going to be your cooldown usage, especially that shift. I want you to think a little bit more about. I want you to be a little more cognizant of, am I actually getting value out of this? Preferably, you want to be using shift when it's going to get multiple people and while combat is sort of happening. If combat isn't happening, you can heal people up with right clicks. You can ask your support for an armor pack, a harmony orb, etc. Those are things that you can do, and I would prefer you to do. I'm not going to pretend that shift is some great, amazing cooldown, but it is a cooldown. You do want to get a little bit more value out of it than you're getting, etc. There's too much, again, one-person stuff, either be it you or be it someone else, etc., where, hey, right clicks would have done the job, or pressing X, would have easily done the job, or you weren't even missing that much health, etc. I'd also like you to be a little more careful on some of those lamps onto one person, etc., but we only saw a couple of those. Lamps onto one person who potentially doesn't need it. You can lamp to save someone's life, that's fine. I'd even like to see a little more aggressive lamp use on corner pushes, etc., things like that, where, hey, I'm lamping for my own window for my team to do work, or I'm lamping on a corner while the other BAP did on Junkertown first there, so that you guys can sort of hard press each other on the corner, etc., so that you can get a bit more out of it as opposed to surrendering space, etc. So I'd like to see some adjustments on those two things, and then I'd just like a little better positioning. You drift to the center a little too often. You're not enough aware of, hey, I've drifted from my corner. I've gone here to get my heals. I've walked a little closer to get my heals. And you don't need to. You just change your aim so that you lob your, grenade heals further there. Play a little tighter to the walls, a little more aware of, hey, I can close this angle on people, etc. And then have that awareness, like we talked about on third, of, you do want to play a little bit safer still when you're coming back up on a lamp in 2-3 seconds. That's a big deal. Like, this is obviously the single most valuable piece of your kit. So if it's about to come back, you could potentially get another one. That's a big deal. Make sure you don't throw your life away 2-3 seconds before that comes up, etc., just to get a little more chip damage, one more heal, etc. Okay, I hope that helped. If you have questions, you can certainly leave a comment, or you can, do whatever you need to there. If other people are looking for coaching, you can join my Discord in the description below, and through there you can see what my rates are, connect with the community, all sorts of good stuff. And if you're liking the content, please do like and subscribe. Thanks. To Boral out.